As members of the Global Farmer Network,
we believe agriculture is part of the solution,
not part of the problem.
We are committed to developing agricultural leaders
and sharing their stories across the globe.
We have one purpose:
to amplify the farmer's voice.
My voice.
Mi voz.
La mia voce.
My voice.
Welcome to Global Farmer Voices, a podcast by the Global Farmer Network where we invite farmers from around the world to share their stories and perspectives. Hello, I'm Delaney Howell, host for this podcast series, and we're excited to continue our mini-series in partnership with the Farmer Voice Survey supported by Bayer. For the past 2 years, Bayer has sponsored a global survey of farmers in 8 countries across 6 continents. This year's survey is now available for farmers to access worldwide. The survey asked farmers to share their thoughts on a range of topics, including innovation, digital technologies, business challenges and opportunities, as well as farming practices and how they feel about their livelihoods. Over the next few months, in addition to our regular Global Farmer Voices episodes, we'll be tackling these topics here too, and hope to uncover some of the unique challenges and insights farmers from across the globe have to continue the dialogue here with all of you. We encourage you to join into the conversation and review the survey for yourself by visiting go.bayer.com/farmervoice. In this episode of our mini-series, we'll talk to 3 farmers: David Kosgei from Kenya, Richard Franke Dijstra from Brazil, and Jana Gabert from Germany. We asked them some tough questions about the challenges they face on their operations. In this year's Farmer Voice survey results, a host of challenges were reported, chief among them continued uncertainty and volatility in price, income, and weather. Each farmer brings a unique perspective to the table, and we're excited to share the inspiring stories of a few of those farmers today. Before we dive into the challenges these farmers face, let's take a moment to get to know each of them a bit better. David grew up watching his parents farm. This led him to start his own small-scale farming business that has now grown to raise dairy cattle, cereals, and sugarcane. He sells his products to local schools and the government. David is also an associate professor at Mo University in the School of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Department of Agricultural Economics.
My parents were doing farming. They didn't have any formal employment. And that is how I picked up. And I started doing my own small-scale farming. Even when I was at the university, I did manage to acquire a small tractor for myself, because I started from renting farms from the neighboring farmers, and I used to sell my produce to the cereals. And with that, I continued even with the formal employment. I have been doing farming. Currently, I am doing the cereals as well as the sugarcane and livestock. I am doing actually maize, and also I'm doing sugarcane and legumes, actually the normal beans. The dairy cows I'm giving are actually Asia dairy cows, but they are not many in terms of number, but actually they are giving us milk for the farm workers, and we use it for the family.
David has had a successful career as a farmer and professor of agriculture at the local university and has diversified his operation, which has given him several opportunities to expand his efforts. Like David, Richard also has familial ties to agriculture that date back centuries. His grandfather emigrated from Holland to Brazil shortly after World War II with his family, 40 heifers, and a bull. One of the heifers was sold upon their arrival to Brazil to purchase 120 acres that would eventually become a thriving dairy and row crop operation nestled just outside of some major cities.
Our farm is located in Ponta Grossa, Paraná. It's a city of 400,000 inhabitants. It's a big city here, and the closest city is where started the Netherlands colonization, Carambeí. That's 5 kilometers from here too, so we are very close to the cities. And we farm also today in Tocantins, that's in the central north part of Brazil. That's 2,000 kilometers from here. We milk in our farm 40,000 milks, but it's an operation that my sister and my brother-in-law, they runs it. We have a family farm, and he rents the areas for his livestock operation, and I rent the part for the grain operation. and the farm in the north, we do it together.
Approaching 80 years as an operation, the farm certainly looks different today compared to the farm Richard's grandfather established many years ago. Richard is excited to see what the next generation of his family brings and fellow farmers bring to the industry. Every farmer's path into agriculture is unique, shaped by their backgrounds and experiences. While David and Richard come from familial ties with deep roots in farming, Jana's story is a bit different. Though she grew up surrounded by agriculture, Jana is a first-generation farmer. Her journey began at university, where she earned a bachelor's in agriculture and 2 master's degrees, one in livestock farming and the other in plant production. While working toward her second master's, she took on the management of a beef cattle farm, which she continues to oversee today.
It is a cooperative, a large-scale agricultural cooperative farm in Brandenburg, Germany, now focusing on dairy production. You have to look back into history. So in East Germany, there were big farms. They were called LPG. And after the reunion, they had to have a look how we could farm in this new system. So the cooperatives are very typical for farms in the eastern part of Germany. And everyone on our farm is an employer. So if I am ill, I will be paid. Also, if I get a child and are at home, I will be paid. But also, everyone has the opportunity to buy a small, we call it Anteil. It's like a small part, and so we are employee and employer at the same time. And so we share the risk. We farm approximately 4,000 hectares. We have around 1,000 Holstein freezing cows now. We are certified for enhanced animal welfare. In Germany it is called QM++, maintaining a high standard of care. Our herd average an impressive 11,000 kilograms of milk per cow annually. 4,000 hectares, but much of which consists of sandy and nutrient-poor soils. So making water management and soil health critical factors in our operation. We pride ourselves on producing nearly all of our animal feed ourselves, ensuring a nearly closed nutrition cycle. And our farming practices combine modern technology with traditional crop cultivation, including the introduction of crops like durum wheat or chickpeas.
Each of these farmers face unique challenges in their operation, but what unites them are the challenges brought on by an uncertain environment. Consistent with the results of this year's Farmer Voice survey, a range of factors, from input costs to revenue, to pest and disease pressure, to climate change, all are affecting farmers' profitability and ability to farm. David's farm is presented with challenges on several fronts, from election cycles impacting commodity prices to fake products released to their market. David has several challenges that are unimaginable to farmers from other parts of the world.
We have quite a number of challenges which actually we experience. The weather is very erratic. At times we can't time when to plant, at times it delays. Like now, we are almost harvesting the maize, but it is raining heavily, which actually it will mess it up all. That one, we've got challenges in storage. The other aspect is actually the quality of inputs. We've had challenges. We've been having fake seeds for maize in Kenya for quite some time. And also, last time we had fake fertilizer. We were going to buy from the National Cereals and Produce Board, which we've been buying from, and from agro dealers, but we realized that some fertilizer, they had packaged animal manure mixed with some slight of phosphate, and they were selling to farmers. So the quality of the inputs is actually a major challenge, which I have experienced personally. Number two is the pricing. The prices of inputs have been going up from time to time. And then also our produce, the pricing have been going down. Last time, we had high prices of fertilizer, the government subsidized, but actually the prices of the produce now, for example, maize, is almost 50% of what we used to sell, which is quite a challenge. The other aspect is actually the aspect of diseases, pests, things like fall armyworm, which actually it has been troubling us for quite some time, but we do spray. The other challenge is the quality of the soil. They are deteriorating. But what we have been doing personally, the maize stalks, spread them an arrow so that they decompose on the soil. So the other challenge which we've been facing is actually the issue of stealing. Due to teeming population, you might realize that part of your farm has been harvested unknowingly by unknown people. And that has been a major challenge. And the other challenge which we experience is actually the infrastructure. When trying to deliver our produce to the market, the state of the roads are very pathetic. It's been a challenge. Government have been trying to do some roads, but you see, they can't do all of them. The other aspect which we need is technology in terms of actually connecting us to where markets are. You see, we rely with the government markets and the brokers markets, but if we had an hub whereby I could see in my phone where I can deliver my produce and get good price, then it could be easier for us. And also the government policies in terms of elective cycles, each and every leader comes with his own or our own policies. And this has been putting us in a very awkward position. They can tamper with the prices. When it's nearing elections, we get good prices. When actually we are in the middle of the term, the prices actually are very erratic. The other challenge we face is actually erratic rains, which we are not certain. So we've had some challenges in terms of runoffs, which have been causing erosions, which is actually quite challenging.
David's concerns are far-ranging and comprehensive, but Richard's main concerns are wildfires and pest control. Because of the severe infestation, Brazilian farmers are looking for additional ways to ensure they're using products in the safest and most effective ways possible.
We have a lot of challenges here in our farm. This year some challenges are the drought and the fire. In a general way, we try to work biological possibly in our farm. So we try to use products that don't hurt the biological control. We have some natural control of insects. We try to monitor our fields every week. And in this monitoring, we monitor what kind of insects we have, caterpillars, bugs and everything. But we monitor also our natural enemies in these fields. I break this balance that are in my areas, and it's a big challenge for us to find a way to go back to a more environmental positive way to control our insects. We work a lot with biological products, but it's also a challenge to know how to work better with them. We have a lab in our farm, so we produce our own biological products on our farm too, to control mainly for caterpillars, but also we are starting to use in the last years some products to enrich the biological life in the soil, and that's a challenge for us to understand how to use them and what kind of bacteria we can use to benefit our environmental in the soil.
Richard's challenge underscores a factor that prevents many farmers from adopting a more regenerative approach to farming, namely the severity and intensity of management required to combat pressures. And in fact, Farmer Voice survey respondents reported that access to better crop protection technology is the #1 factor that could benefit their farm, reminding us of how universal this challenge is. Like Richard, Jana's primary concerns revolve around the environment and how climate change may impact her farming operation. Additionally, she faces societal pressures, particularly due to the government policies that have led to price fluctuations and farmer protests in January of 2024. These protests, which started in Poland, were triggered by the ruling to cut diesel subsidies during the war between Russia and Ukraine. The cut in subsidies, coupled with rising costs for agricultural inputs, has increased debt across the industry.
Our primary challenge is dealing with the effects of climate change. So particularly drought and unpredictable weather patterns, which are more pronounced on our sandy soils. Additional disease outbreaks, such as the recent arrival of blue tongue disease in our region, pose significant risk to our dairy herd. Another challenge is the increasing bureaucratic hurdle and fluctuating market prices, which make long-term planning difficult. The protest, it's a very emotional theme, so because just talk about the fluctuating market prices and more and more challenges. So the government in Germany started to think about to make farming more expensive for us, and so we started to protest and try to show that we are on the no more resilience to have 1 and 2 and 3 additional challenges on top. I think it worked, so because discussion started with policymakers, and we focus heavily on forward planning and innovation. Indeed. For example, we've built this year new silage storage and adopted modern machinery to improve efficiency and crop management. On the livestock side, we closely monitor herd health and are constantly looking at new ways to improve our cows' welfare, to boost resilience against diseases. Vaccinated our herd 2 times against blue tongue disease, for example. Collaboration and knowledge exchange with other farmers and researchers are key elements in staying ahead of challenges.
While each farmer has challenges, they also spoke of opportunities and the bright future they see for the industry in their respective countries.
A major employer of majority of the people in the rural areas. And also, it will be a driver of the economy, since actually our GDP, about 45% is from agriculture.
What they say, they will never build a second level of soil. A building in a city, you can make a building with 30 floors, 40 floors, 100 floors. You will not build a second floor of land. So there is a limit on the growth in area to wider area. It's limited around the world. There will be always space for farmers who want to produce. There will be always space for more producing food because it's growing up every year. They are talking about intelligent food and everything, but it's all chemical, I think. It's not natural. The way that we work is more natural. We work the sun. The sun is our most important tool here to make photosynthesis and chlorophyll and everything. So it will still be a good business to make agriculture. And if you look to the new generation that's coming here, people who want to really dirt the hands and work hard, they will always be ahead of a lot of people that don't want to dirt the hands more and put the hands to work hard into the fields.
The future of farming will involve a careful balance between tradition and technology, and for this we need lots of, I think brave is the word I'm looking for, and stay in contact, especially in harder times. And yes, but we have to stay optimistically. So because I think all these challenges are makeable for us.
These farmers are paving the way for a bright future in agriculture. The Global Farmer Network strives to help amplify these farmers' voices to help bridge the gap from farm to table and show that while farming comes with challenges, there is a very bright future ahead. As the global conversation continues to unfold around more timely topics, be sure to get engaged by visiting go.bayer.com/farmervoice. If you're interested in learning more about the Global Farmer Network's mission and its members, seeing some of the things the organization is doing and finding out how you can get involved, please visit globalfarmernetwork.org. If you enjoyed the podcast today, be sure to subscribe and follow Global Farmer Network on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. Until next time, I'm Delaney Howell, and this has been a special series of the Global Farmer Voices podcast in partnership with the Farmer Voice Survey, supported and sponsored by Bayer.